everybody. Welcome to Today in Mortgages, where we try to make sense of the news in mortgage and real estate in today's crazy market environment. Each episode, we're taking the clickbait headlines in the news, breaking down what's real, what's hype, and what actually matters and what you should be paying attention to and talking to your clients about. This is the news that your clients are reading, and you need to be ahead of it. But today, I've got Rich Jefferson on the call, our expert of the day. How you doing, Rich?
Real good, Micah. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, hanging in there. So we got an article today that I sent you. It's called Housing Market Predictions for the Next 5 Years. What return can you expect? And this is from Forbes.com, so one of the big ones. And this jumped out to me because obviously anytime we get into predictions, especially 5 years down the road, it gets a little hairy. But we were talking before, you said this is pretty spot on, but what's your initial reaction to this headline?
I'd like to get through the next 3 or 4 months pretty quickly. Yeah. I said this article is pretty spot on because it's really tracking with what's happening now. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of caveats here, right? Sure. Anything can change going forward. But if things were the same and the Fed was able to get inflation under control by lifting the Fed funds rate and all the stuff, the pain that we're going through now is ultimately going to lead to some smooth sailing, some more normalized market conditions.
Yep. And we'll link up the article in the show notes below. But if you don't get a chance to look at it, basically the predictions are 1 year and then like 2 to 3 years and then 4 to 5 years out. And so they kind of break this down. And the thesis is that in the near term, predictions point to what we kind of know is happening right now is things are down. Right. And so we're experiencing that now. We're going to be experiencing it for the next year going into 2023, and then kind of a slow recovery in that 2 to 3 to 4 year range, with ultimately trying to get back to quote unquote normal in 5 years. Right. And so we'll kind of break that down a little bit, but the article talks about rates leveling off in 2023. Rich, what do you think about that? You have your ear to the ground.
Sure. I mean, as inflation comes down, rates will also come down, and that will get buyers back out in the market. And that's going to, help with the sales there. Now, the one thing that's the reason I believe this article is pretty spot on is there's still a lot of demand. There might not be the demand today because of the rapid change in rates and increased payments and all of that. And then you have some of these millennial buyers are pretty savvy. They're doing a lot of research. They're reading a lot of articles. They're seeing, maybe prices are coming down. Is this a time to buy if the next 3 to 4 months prices are coming down? So there's a little bit of that. But I think ultimately the millennials are the ones that are going to be driving sales for the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah. That's it. They're in the age bracket where they need to buy a home and they want to build families. And, that's why this next 5 years is ultimately going to be pretty strong because the demand is still there. We need it to normalize so people are more comfortable moving forward on a home purchase.
Yeah, we're talking about, more households being formed, family units being formed. There are houses available out there. And so the demand is high and it's coming back. But yeah, right now, I think people are just spooked, right? So 5 years is a long way out. A lot can happen. Hopefully we don't have another pandemic or anything like that. But the forecast here is rosy. It says total price growth across the country of 15 to 25%. So tell us what that means, Rich.
I use Texas as a pretty good example of moderate price growth always, sure. Right? I mean, Texas does, they see 3 to 5% per year on a regular year,
right?
Where some of maybe your sand states like here in Arizona, California, Florida, they're the ones that may see those years where you get a price increase of 25% because of the demand to be in those states are generally higher. And I think the country is going to see what Texas experiences. They're going to see 3 to 5% appreciation each year. So lifting the price of sales up.
Yeah. I mean, the caveat there is if you've lived in Austin in the last 20 years, that does not apply to you. But the quote that stuck out to me, Rich, here was in the article is it's important to keep in mind that the falls are expected over the next 1 to 2 years are coming off of a high base. Goldman Sachs projections show the bottom of the housing market sometime in the next couple of years, and the market coming back down to the level seen around December 2021. So these falls that are happening right now in the market are coming off this insane high, right? We'll throw a graphic up on the screen here if you're watching this, but out of the Fred, this graphic shows, house appreciation over time. And you can see like over the past 20 years, if you look at it, there's seasonal ups and downs. It's kind of the old real estate thing. Like you want to sell your house in the summer because that's when people are moving to get into the new school district. And so you can see that in this chart. But if you look over the past couple of years, and we'll zoom in on that, it's just a straight up, right? It's just going up all the time at a like absurd rate. And so buyers and sellers have been trained in the past 2 years to think that, borrowing's cheap and real estate's always going to go up. And it's just not historically true. So in light of that, Rich, like how should we be educating our clients when talking about their home purchase?
Well, if you're talking about a home purchase today, there's a lot of ways to get especially a first-time home buyer into a home with different programs. But there's also things like permanent buy downs to rates that are generally sponsored by the seller, and temporary buy downs, which will get us through this period of kind of craziness, and then where you could refinance after 12 or 18 months. So there's a lot of options out there, but it's important that your clients are getting good information from your trusted loan advisor.
Yeah, not only that, but just looking at the home is not an investment where you're going to see consistent 20% gains year over year, right? That's not realistic. It's not something that's ever happened except in the past couple of years. And so we've become accustomed to that. Unfortunately, we learned that really fast and we forgot all of the past. But as a buyer or a seller, you have to understand that wasn't a normal market, and we're coming back to a normal market. But what this article is saying, of course, with a grain of salt, because it's predictions, we don't know, but 5-10 years, we're going to get back to where we can see that sustained appreciation of your home. And it's also a place where you get to live and enjoy your family. So that's what we're really trying to talk to people about. And we want to get that message out. And so training your buyers, training your customers, if you're a real estate agent, to understand that home's not, you're not going to be able to print money from your home anymore. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, that's what I got out of this, Rich, man. What do you think?
I mean, I just thought it was a great article overall. Yeah. I think it gave some pretty insightful information about our current situation. And then I think it lays out a pretty good roadmap of what we could see, what we should see, assuming we're smooth sailing. We're back on pace. I mean, again, it's demand. The demand is just on the bench right now. It's still there. They still want to buy homes. It's just going to take a little time to, get those buyers out looking again.
All right. Well, Rich, I'm going to give you the chance to rate this article. You already said it's pretty spot on. But before we get to that, I just want to ask the question to everyone out there: is your business harder now than it was a year ago? And we've been talking about it. Of course it is. But when the going gets tough, the tough have to get going. And you need to be marketing yourself now more than ever. But where do you start? So we've put together a cheat sheet for you. It's 5 marketing musts to help you get ahead while things are down. And to get your free copy of that, you can go to todayandmortgages.com/marketing. That's todayandmortgages.com/marketing. Don't waste this time that we're in complaining about rates and demand. Get your free resource at todayandmortgages.com/marketing. All right, Rich, brass tacks. What are we rating this article?
I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah. Okay. 5.
Yeah.
That means it's a perfect listing. So Forbes, good job. Hey, you guys, check out this article if you haven't already. We're linking it in the show notes below. But thanks for being on with us, Rich, today. As always, you brought the goods. Hey, if you enjoyed Rich's expert advice on today's show, click the grow link in the descriptions to see how you can join the best network in mortgages and get daily coaching messages from him, along with best support in the industry. Any final thoughts, Rich?
Man, I would just say stay positive, take this period to really grow yourself, learn, research the market, and just get out and just kind of keep the sense of positivity up, because
That's
people
right.
don't want to buy from people that are negative and down. Stay out of the junk news, stick to the facts, and just hustle. That's it.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Share it, like it, leave a review. It really helps us out. Subscribe. We'll see you next time on Today Mortgage. Today Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as an individual mortgage or home buying advice or pricing estimates. And any commentary on this show should not be considered a promise to make a loan. All applicants for a loan must qualify, and you should consult a professional regarding your individual loan scenarios for your financial situation. Visit our website at nflp.com/licenses for all state licensing and other legal information.